Hey there everyone, Spazzy Dragon here, aka Syndrems, and welcome to part 3, finally, of the Discovery Freelancers Let's Play slash tutorial slash guide slash thing, featuring me and my friend Felix,
Hello.
as we are going to continue our little adventure. And first of all, we sorted out the FPS issues, which thank you for pointing it out, because I quite frankly didn't notice and I thought it was just his unstable internet, which turned out not to be the case. Thank you. And secondly, at the end of the second episode we realized that perhaps Felix just chilling there on the base and giving me missions is not really going to do for a good video, and it's probably not too fun for him. So we split up, I continued doing the missions, and Felix went back to mine on Pennsylvania. So we are starting this video with just over 10 million each, and we are going to finally advance. I would like to think that this is the natural progression of a new player, and what we're going to do is acquire our first cargo ship that is not a freighter. So I'm actually going to undock from the base, just so I don't accidentally get booted for base idling. Anyway, Felix, have you created a new character?
Yes, I
Good.
have.
Good, because now I need to do the same.
Right.
And this is the nice little creation of a character named Birdsongs. Anyway, we are going to restart these characters first and then transfer the money to them, because this is something that I forgot to mention in the first episode, is being that if you are about to make a new character and you want to restart a ship, you need to restart the ship first and then send the money, because it overwrites the old character, and if you send the money first, well then, lol. So, show restarts is what we're going to do first, and we are going to find the restart that is named Liberty Civilian. It is LI Civilian.
Right. Do.
So, as far as I remember, we are going to start on Manhattan. Okay, so, for 10 million credits we can finally advance our character, which is a good thing. We should be on Manhattan. Yes, we are on Manhattan. Let's double check if this ship is here. Yes, there it is. We are looking for the Mammoth transport. So, transfer your money to the new character.
Right. Easy peasy.
GG easy.
Squeezy.
How much money do I even have? And there we go. And acquire the new ship. Also, don't forget that when you buy a new ship, your ID ends up on the right side, so don't forget to transfer it.
Yeah, obviously.
Well, you might be
Easy.
surprised just how common of a mistake that is. Holy shit.
Yeah. I'm a quick learner, though. I'm sure it'll be fine. So should I buy a mammoth as well?
Yes, obviously.
Obviously.
Obviously. So, I currently have 1 million left. We can't really buy a lot of good things. What we want to buy for now is probably a better thruster. I would highly suggest getting at least an advanced thruster. It's only 116,000. Hopefully it's not going to fall off that fast.
Oh, it's not in the deal. Okay.
Hmm?
Makes sense. That it's not in the ship deal, the advanced thrust. I thought I could buy it along with the ship because I'm a faggot.
LOL. Also, don't forget to buy yourself an advanced deep scanner for that awesome player detection range. Also stock up in bots and batteries.
Right.
Should cost you about $500,000 to do. Congratulations! So this is something I really wanted to point out. So when you're starting off in Pennsylvania, you probably explore the system a little bit, and you probably find out that the station one trade lane away sells the Gull, which is a transport for about 6 million credits and is about 1,000 cargo space. Now this thing costs under twice that amount, but has more than twice cargo space. So that is something that new players need to kind of keep in mind, that the actual cost of the transport is not always reminiscent of how better it is at the thing that it's supposed to perform. So, have you gotten yourself the thruster and the thingy?
Yep, advanced deep scanner. I purchased a heavy thruster. Should I buy any turrets for this thing?
No. At this point in time, this transport with only 70,000, I think it was 70,000 hit points, it doesn't matter what kind of guns you have. If someone wants to kill you, they will.
Oh, well, that's sad.
Well, that's how... I mean, Freelancer in technicality is a dystopian future where the value of a human life is not really that big.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, anyway, congratulations on your bigger shippy. At least it's better than a freighter. But we are still going to go back to Pennsylvania now.
Right.
And this time, remember how I said, like when we restarted the character for the first time, I showed you, oh, there's a place where you can actually sell helium for 4,000 and a half, credits per units.
Yeah, somewhere over
we're
in
not going to bother with that with
Osaka
freighters.
space?
Hmm?
Wasn't it in Osaka space?
Yeah.
Or, yeah, something like that.
It was one of them was in Kusari and one of them was in Rainland. We're probably going to go for Rainland because it's kind of closer.
Right. And we're not at war with them anymore, hooray.
Not anymore, as of 1 week ago. Hello there, stuffed pelican.
Ooh, fancy. I'm unmooring. There wasn't an animation for this last I played. Now there is. Okay, we're not even green on each other, we're just totally neutral.
We are totally neutral.
And now we're pink!
And well, we're pink.
So fancy.
So fancy. Alright, so... This was more of an issue back when we were still hostile to Rainland and vice versa. But Rainland actually has a pretty cool transport. It's called the Behemoth. It has a 3,000 something cargo space. And it is actually very, very cheap for its size, and many new players would find it and instantly try to acquire it. Now the problem is, there is such a thing to keep in mind that, okay, you have the server rules, which I hope you already read.
Of course.
And read again. And then there is a thing called roleplay laws. It is a product of player interaction and roleplay. And so, for example, we are currently the guests of the glorious House of Liberty. And the thing is, Liberty has its own set of laws. For example, what cargo is forbidden to transfer, what kind of ships can be present. And back when we were still hostile with Rainland military, a lot of new players saw that cool little transport, they acquired it, only to find that, uh-oh, they can't come back to Liberty anymore. And obviously people were sad about it. They still tried to enter Liberty. They would be escorted out by the local law enforcement, and if they refused, they would get blown to smithereens. Now, I will be quite honest, I've been here for 8 years now, and I have not memorized even one house's roleplay laws, so it's not really that big of a deal. Really just, basically all you need to know is what kind of things you shouldn't transport, as a new player anyway. Anything else is easily fixable if something is wrong, and, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, so what we're going to do now is we are going to do a bit of group mining, because as you can see now we both have transports, but obviously we can't really mine in these things, not without the proper equipment, and quite frankly I don't remember where that proper equipment was. It might have been here, I'm not exactly sure. I'm actually going to dock and double check here on Philadelphia Station.
Right. I'll wait around in orbit.
Now you can already go to... what's his face? Actually, no. If it's here, then I'll probably need you to buy... Actually, maybe you know. How many moonies do you have right now?
2 mil?
2 mil? Okay. So, I do not see it here. Okay. Let's split up. I need you to go to Airy... I need you to check Airy and the station next to Airy for what is called a... mining turret or something with mining in its name. If we don't find it now, we can easily just have one of us switch to our mining ship, the starting mining ship, and we can easily just fill everything up. I'm hesitant to buy anything from the player base because, you know, we'd be paying money, and there's 2 of us, so there's absolutely no need for us to do that. Technically, the more people are flying, the more profitable it is.
Oh wow, that's a lot of people here.
Well, there's not a thing called a mining something here. Like it's like a heavy mining emitter, or it should
Heavy
be on
mining array.
Yes, that is the one you need.
It's a planetary.
Yeah, well then you just need 2 of those.
2 of those.
2 of those.
I
think helium...
Don't I just need 1?
Well, you need 1, but 2 is easier. Basically, if you hit a rock at the same time with 2 mining lasers, you get twice the bonus.
Oh, that's
and
lovely.
it really depends on the layout of the guns for the ship that you're using. Some ships can do it, some ships can't.
Right. Makes sense.
We're probably going to go into detail about mining in general in part 4. Because at that point we'll have more moonies.
So many monies. We won't even know what to do with them.
Oh, we will, and actually that is the next...
Obviously.
Obviously. Actually, no.
Obviously, that's the goal of the game, am I right?
No, you're not.
I know I'm not. Hello. How are you?
Hello. So... let me also buy 2 of those, and we can be on our way. So let's go. Burb.
This is Burb.
Let's go.
Right.
So one of the things that I really don't like about the current sort of progression is that a lot of experienced players like to come to Pennsylvania and just give new players a lot of money, which is really nice from one side, but as we will see in a moment, trading like this after the whole mining phase makes you fly around a lot. And some people like that, some people don't like that, but essentially what this means is that it allows you to explore as many systems as possible and see what is going on. As I already said in the first episode, you don't really need to worry that much about your character's development until you have a good ship to make money with, and flying around and visiting these systems and seeing what kind of what happens in these systems and where are the fun little spots to be in helps you decide where to create your first characters. And yes, obviously I said characters, because having one character is kind of silly.
Yeah. That's a bit extreme.
Extreme.
Too extreme. Gotta tone it down a bit. At least it's nice and symmetrical.
Yep.
That's all I care about. I don't care how powerful my guns are as long as they look the same on both sides.
So I mentioned about people giving newbies money. The problem is, this is a roleplay server, and it's a roleplay community, right?
Yeah, and randomly giving people money is not really roleplay.
Well, that, and the game itself is not an RPG. Like, we're using it for roleplay purposes, but it is not an RPG.
Yeah, there's no experience system,
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
no progression. The only progression is money, so you just skip, like, the entire game and you just get gifted money.
Exactly. So when a new player is moving around and making money, and he's flying around, he's gaining some sort of experience. Not always the best one, not always a lot of it, but they're still playing the game, interacting with other people, and just seeing what they can do as they're flying around. So when they do finally get the money to buy something, at least they have seen other players either fly the ship or use this equipment, and they know what to do with it or what not to do with it. For example, I remember when I was flying around and I saw this guy flying a cool cruiser, and I was like, holy shit, I want one of those. And then I saw this guy getting fucking pasted by a couple of bombers, and I was like, oh. Well, that saved me 150 million worth of effort.
Yeah. Big doesn't mean strong.
Big does not mean strong in this game.
Makes a bigger target.
Not always, though. And here's the thing. Okay, so that is the other topic that I would really like to talk about right now. Also, we probably need to ditch these... oh, you already did ditch the history of serious and server rules and...
Yeah, boy.
All of the other things that people
I
don't
sold
usually...
them for like $100. Making money.
Making the
I don't even
best
need to trade, I just need to sell 1 million copies of the server rules.
Obviously.
Did Mio be mining much slower than we did in the smaller ships?
Yes, because the smaller ship actually has... Oh, hello. We have...
Oh hey, someone's asking where you bought your shit.
Hey there.
Did we just blow up those fucking things you dropped? So we don't pick them up?
Well, not with the mining areas.
Can't we? Yeah, we can. But will it just pick them up then? I'm so confused.
There we go. Alright, so I think I am full. I actually have the game muted while I'm recording this video, so that is the reason why in the previous video I had my cargo hold full and it was saying, oh, cargo hold full, and I was still shooting the little rocks. Like a retard.
You're so good at this game.
Yes.
Teach me your ways, senpai.
I am teaching your ways. My ways.
I'm only at like 500 out of 3,000, so this will take a fucking while, mate.
Well then, mine faster.
Oh, it's not 3,000, it's 2,200. Wish you could just shoot the big rocks.
No kidding.
That'd make this much easier.
The funny thing is, I don't think that I'm actually mining into you for some reason. Ah, that's probably because I don't have the freaking miner ID. That's why we're not getting the bonus. Again, this is something that we will need to cover in part 4 regarding mining, but basically it is, for most ores, apart from helium, you need the correct ship that gives the bonus, the ID, and the matching IFF for that ID, and the mining guns, and then you get the full bonus.
Halfway there.
Halfway there.
Pretty good.
You know, this is probably a lot faster if you just brought your mining ship and just filled it up 4 times and dropped the cargo in space.
Yeah. Yeah, because that thing fills like instantly. We just hire a bunch
And
of
take
newbies.
this, take this.
Take this. What am I taking?
The trade invite.
Wait, a trade invite?
Yes, I sent you one.
Okay. Oh, right, over there. Boop.
And there we go, accept this. Because I mine a little bit faster. It's actually all about the movements. There's a specific pattern you need to move around so, you know, more rocks spawn.
I have full now.
Yes, I know. I'm not.
What do you want me to do?
Wait for me. Alright, so...
Exciting.
Yes, obviously. The most exciting gameplay there is. Waiting for your friend to fill up their hole. You can actually scan me and tell me when I'm full, because again, I don't hear the game.
Right. I want to figure out how to scan people.
I think it was O.
That is correct. Oh wow, you're actually pretty close.
Okay, so obviously we're currently making Moonies, but I actually already started talking about this. Moonies doesn't really mean much when you don't know what to buy, so one of the key features of the mod, apart from the whole roleplay aspect, is that we pretty much made every single ship type in the game usable, equally usable. Remember, like, in the vanilla game, you would start off with that freaking Starflyer, and
You're full.
yeah, thanks. Okay, let's bounce. You would start with a
Bounce.
Starflyer. Actually, where are we going? So we are going to New Berlin. Screw it. That is where we're gonna go.
You
So-
actually know we're going to New Berlin, or are you just assuming?
We're assuming. We're always
Right,
assuming.
because I can just like check the trade info while we are flying.
It's either the Ring or the New Berlin.
The ring
Anyway,
on New Berlin. Yep.
yes. Okay.
Almost 4,000 apiece. That's pretty good.
That is pretty good for the amount of systems we need to fly. It's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 systems. That's not a lot, all things considered. So,
I'm very tempted to form up, but I know it'll get me killed.
not only that, you might get the so-called form bug, where after you form with me, so when you form up with me, you usually take up some sort of position next to my ship, like 1 o'clock or whatever.
Yeah.
And the form bug is basically after you stop forming with someone, every time you take a lane or a gate, it is going to try to make you go through the gate at that position. Like, it's going to make you go off center, and depending on the ship, it might work and might not work. It's an annoying bug, but it's
I imagine
fixable.
it's a bigger problem in bigger ships that
No kidding.
have bigger spacing.
But you can fix it by just relogging the character. You can just dock on a base and just relog the character. Anyway, so you're making the money, and in the vanilla Freelancer, you would just make the money in order to get either the Eagle, the Saber, or the Titan, I think.
Yeah, I
And-
remember spending many hours saving up for the Eagle.
So, yeah, there are things we've changed here in Disco, and there are things that we kept the same. And one of the things that we chose to keep the same was to have the very heavy fighter remain the generic go-to ship that anyone can buy, anyone can equip, anyone can fly. It is easy to learn to fly. It is hard to master, so, you know, it's challenging for players who want a challenge. And it is currently the most used ship in the game. So all of the other ships are equally as useful as a very heavy fighter, but they are specialized in some way. So considering we're now going to take a long flight, I might as well just start explaining the types of ships we have, starting from the smallest one, the one that we actually started from. So the Stargazer, it is a light fighter, or it's also called as the Interceptor. Easily my least favorite ship in the game, like ship class in the game. Basically, it dodges really well, it's really small, it's hard to hit, And that is... Oh wow, that is... Wow, that is a lot of people.
What's up?
Holy
Oh my
shit.
god. That's at least 10, 15 people.
Yep.
Is that a fight going on?
I think we are in the middle of a fight.
I suppose we shouldn't loiter.
Let's ask if we can actually... We are on our way to Texas. We are on our way to Texas. Are there hostiles out there?
Tracer Judy!
Those are 3 siege cruisers shooting their forward guns. That's massive amounts of damage just being shot into the space.
Detour to Manhattan?
We don't want to detour to Manhattan. We want to go to Texas, and we need to take this lane in front of us. Well, you're idling less than 10 clicks from a sizable Libertonian task force. I call that adventure enough for one day if I were you. Okay! Let's go.
Let's get the fuck out of here!
I don't think they want us here. I mean, okay, I mean, if I saw a fucking fleet of battle tanks, as a civvy, I probably don't want to, like, walk up to them and say hi. Okay, so...
It seems more reasonable to ask a police force if they're hostiles than the damn army.
Yeah, no kidding. Unless you're in fucking Syria. Hopefully we're not. That is the last place where I want to be. Oh, okay, so anyway, about the ship types. Like, all of the ships. The Light Fighter, one of the really good things about the Light Fighter is that, as the name implies, the Interceptor, its cruise speed is a lot better than, you know, most other ships in the game. It means that if you are a part of a group and you are in a group fight, then that ship is going to be responsible to catch any sort of, you know, fleeing targets. Right? Now, the obvious problem is that the fucking thing is made out of Twinkies. Like, it dies to everything. Everything
Suddenly
kills
Russians.
it. Yeah, I've no idea. The person might be role-playing a Russian. I'm not exactly sure, but at this point I don't care. Obviously we have some people on the server who don't really get the concept of roleplay, but usually those people don't tend to stick around off for, you know, a lot. Be very осторожен, place is very cheeky, bricky, dumpy.
Zikabliet.
Yeah, don't do that. just, yeah. Better not. So yeah, that is pretty much about the Light Fighter. After that we have a hybrid between that and the Very Heavy Fighter, which is just the Heavy Fighter. Now, fun thing about these ships, they are basically a lighter version of the VHF, but many of them are actually hybrids. Like, remember how you have the ability to either mount a cruiser disruptor or a torpedo on a Very Heavy Fighter?
Yeah.
Well, some heavy fighters have 2 slots. It means you can mount SCD and a torpedo, which is really, really good.
Could you also just mount 2 torpedoes and just go overkill?
No. It's, though that is for, super heavy fighters. Very heavy fighters, as already said, it is basically the same as an Eagle and a Titan and a Saber. Every single faction in the game has their own version, and some of them share the same thing. You know, some ships, they share some of them. And super heavy fighters are fun in a way that most of them can mount 2 fighter torpedoes, and that makes them highly dangerous in a solo fight. They are kind of heavy though, and that is kind of problematic. They're also easily hit. And after that we have the bomber, and see, here's an interesting thing. Remember I showed you that one video of one of our forum members who was called Antonio?
Yeah, supernova cannons.
Yeah, exactly. So that the bomber is obviously meant to kill large ships. Their signature weapon of choice is the so-called supernova antimatter cannon, or the so-called snack. Now the thing is, it has a good range, like really good range, but the projectile itself is really slow, and the weapon arcs does not allow you to aim to the sides a lot. Depending on how good you are in that thing, you could easily kill other player small ships. That's what this guy really did. So one of those things about, you know, small ships like that, they are kind of powerful. After that we have our trade ships. So we started off with a freighter after we upgraded. So freighters are kind of cool because they are very nimble. They have fighter guns, and usually they shoot a lot of them forward, so their forward-facing firepower is really good. Their cruise speed is above average, which also allows them to act as interceptors. And overall, they're a really cool ship. And that's something you really need to keep in mind. Every single type of ship, no matter how small it is still usable in a PvP.
And yeah, a freighter might be better than a transport for smuggling, because you'd have small amounts of high-value cargo.
Well, yes.
And transport it around fast and escape police and
it's
such.
not that faster, but the thing is there are certain smuggling points, they're called smuggling satellites, where no other ship but freighters can dock.
Because they don't have mooring points.
Yeah, exactly. And they have much larger pay for smuggling goods. I think they fixed this gate. I'm not exactly sure. Hopefully we're not going to die horribly!
There goes nothing! Not looking very promising. Had to go through some weird pink cloud.
No kidding. Well, I'm alive, and I am in space Germany.
I am mostly alive. Only dead inside.
Okay, so after freighters, we have the medium transports, so the thing that we're currently flying. And after that, in terms of transports, we have a subgroup. It's called the battle transport, which is kind of fun. Also, that is a player in front of us who is neutral on our scanner, but that does not really mean much. So where is this player, and what is he? I think he might be doing missions somewhere. I don't see him.
Apparently this ship with 2 mining lasers is too strong right now, and would be suicide.
Good.
You're so good, Unioneers! You're so good!
Well, let's just hope that we don't actually bump into the actual Unioneers. You know, Unioneer players.
Let's hope.
Let's
we are
hope
carrying
for the
valuable helium.
I hope this cargo hold full of helium fetches a good price.
Oh yeah, I remember!
I hope this cargo hold full of fucking oxygen worth $5 fucking bucks a piece fetches a good price. All the fucking helium you can get, boy. Let me fucking send it to this fucking planet which is habitable with huge amounts of oxygen.
The base game certainly had quirks. Do they still have traders saying that in this multiplayer?
Yes.
Fucking amazing.
We are the best, the best, the best, the best. So far so good. No disruptions.
You just had to say it, didn't you?
Alright, so after that we have battle transports, which are basically largest transports in the game, but they sacrifice a lot of their cargo. They're really expensive also, but they sacrifice a lot of their cargo for actual survivability. They have a lot more armor, they have a lot more guns. In some cases they actually do make a difference, in some cases not so much. For example, in our case, right now, we are easily killable. It's not even about not having actual guns, it's just that there's not really a lot of armor to these things. And that's why they're only 10 million for 2,000 cargo.
Right. So we're just transporting around helium in paper
Hoping that we're
mache.
not going to get caught by anything nasty.
Yup.
So, but obviously the big ships are the ones that new players usually start drooling about. Well, here's the thing. Remember how I said the very heavy fighter still remains the most generic, the most, used ship?
Yeah?
Well, that's because it can shoot things, do damage to things, but it can also evade fire and run away if needed, right?
Right.
But capital ships lack the latter of those abilities. They are
Yeah.
huge, they soak up a lot of damage, and quite frankly, for their cost, they are not really that much survivable. So you are actually paying for something completely different, and that completely different just happens to be the amount of raw damage that they can dish out. Some time ago, for example, we had a player asking, so what's the point of buying a battleship which fully set up costs about 1.6 billion credits when you can take two bombers which are both set up for 25 million credits and kill one?
Well, it's
Well,
just about hard counters.
well, exactly. The thing about the battleship is that it dishes out enormous amounts of damage. It means that, for example, you have a enemy cruiser, for example, and with two bombers, you should be able to take care of it, no problem. But if the cruiser knows what they're doing, they might actually survive for quite a long time. We're talking about like 10 or 20 minutes, like depending on what kind of loadout they have, how lucky they are, what armor they have. The battleship can just sneak up on that thing, uncloak, and just insta-kill it. And that's why you're paying 1.6 billion credits instead of 25 million. So, speaking about capital ships, the smallest one, and by far my favorite, is the gunboat. The gunboat is really cheap for its size. I mean, a medium transport with 3.4 thousand, which is the maximum amount, or was it 3.6 actually?
3.6.
It's 3.6, yeah. A 3.6 transport costs about 40 million credits. That's the same amount as a gunboat. And the gunboat is really cool is that, first of all, it doesn't die to a single bomber, because it is a ship that is specifically made to kill...
Connection lost. Connected. User joined your channel.
Well, that
Okay,
was
I have no idea what the fuck just happened, but
interesting.
TeamSpeak just disconnected my recording. Anyway, we got 8 million. We just made all of the money that we spent on these ships back in one go.
Yup.
Hey,
Hey,
you know what I
boy.
see? I see some black market munitions.
Oh boy, that sounds illegal.
That sounds illegal as hell.
Oh wow, isn't Leeds pretty close? That's where it's worth the most.
Not really. We actually would need to fly through a freaking war zone.
Well, you know, that just hides our tracks.
Okay, what about
Obviously.
sidearms?
Why do armaments cost the exact same everywhere?
Armaments are used to build player base defense modules.
Oh, okay.
So they're not a trade commodity, they're a construction commodity.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Don't worry, we can build a base later.
Oh, fun.
Called the Nest.
Oh yeah, perfect. Absolutely flawless.
Yes.
We could actually make a lot of money with sidearms.
I'm looking at them right now.
That's 4 mil if we bring it to the highest bidder. Maybe 5.
I'm kind of tempted to actually suggest we take back something that we can sell in New York so we can grab another full of helium and this time take it to Kusari maybe.
Kusari doesn't pay much more than this place does.
Yes, but from Kusari we can take a visit to the Independent Miners Guild and get some real ore.
Right,
know,
yeah, okay.
You know, the
If
one
we're
that
planning a
sells
trip
for...
there anyways, we might as well bring
Exactly.
helium, yeah.
Like, the
No,
one that
no
sells...
reason to fly around an empty trailer.
Exactly. That's the last thing you want to do. And the IMG actually can give us ore that is sold for 10,000 per unit.
Jesus.
So we'd be doubling our profits. But
Right.
it looks like we'll have to actually wait until that visit in the next episode because we just reached our 40-minute mark. So in the next episode we're going to continue this little topic, and we are going to actually we might actually set up a mining operation of our own that is not helium. So
Exciting stuff.
exciting stuff. And then we can actually build ships and go interact with people with guns.
The best kind of interactions.